Then Lin Key jumped up. He leaped over the railing of the ring and stepped inside. Lin Key confidently said, "Then let's fight." A fighter rushed towards him, angrily exclaiming, "Arrogant." The fighter punched Lin Key, but he easily evaded it. Lin Key said, "Let's see this." Saying that, he threw a punch, causing the fighter to stagger. Lin Key punched him straight in the stomach and said, "Did you forget how to fight like this?" The fighter spat blood. Lin Key remarked, "I told you not to fight me. Why won't you listen?" The fighter lay flat on the ground, leaving the reporter and Mr. Yang astonished. Mr. Yang thought to himself, "This kid is really impressive, a bit beyond my expectations." Thinking this, he turned and said, "Xiao Wang, come over and give it a try." Xiao Wang replied, "Yes." He stepped onto Lin Key's fighting platform, confidently cracking his knuckles and saying, "Hey bro, if you're ready, then go ahead." Lin Key responded, "I'm all set." He quickly moved to Xiao Wang, instantly appearing in front of him. Xiao Wang was also taken aback by Lin Key's speed. Lin Key grabbed Xiao Wang's hand, throwing him down to the ground. He seized Xiao Wang's wrist, locked it, and pinned him down with his foot. Xiao Yu was astonished and thought to herself, "This happened so fast that I couldn't even see clearly." Mr. Yang was taken aback and gasped in surprise, and the reporter was equally astonished. Lin Key helped Xiao Wang up, and Xiao Wang said, "Hey bro, I admit it, your speed and power are incredible. To be honest, I didn't even have time to react just now. I'm impressed." Gao Zong said, "Mr. Yang, it seems we misjudged him. His strength is greater than we thought." Mr. Yang then said, "Gao Zong, why don't you give it a try?" Gao Zong replied seriously, "Yes." With that, he stepped into the arena. Gao Zong said, "Are you warmed up? How about a little test with me?" Gao Zong took off his hat and jacket, revealing his muscular physique. He stomped his foot and charged at Lin Key with a punch. He threw a punch at Lin Key, but Lin Key blocked it. Lin Key praised, "Not bad." At that moment, the two were exchanging a flurry of punches. Suddenly, Lin Key lifted his leg and kicked straight at Gao Zong. He used his hands to block the attack, but still got knocked back by Lin Key's strike. Mr. Yang exclaimed in shock, What's going on?" He continued, "Let's stop here. Thank you for preserving a bit of dignity for me. Lin, you're amazing. Come here and wipe the sweat off." Lin Key clasped his hands respectfully and spoke to the man in front of him. "I apologize for causing a disturbance here." Mr. Yang quickly asked, "Where did you learn this skill? Who taught you?" Lin Key turned around, putting on his shirt while responding, "No one taught me. As an orphan, even having enough to eat is a big issue, let alone having time to learn these things." After hearing this, he sighed, "Tell me, kid. Well, maybe I can't get anything out of you." Lin Key turned back and smiled, saying goodbye to Mr. Yang. "Mr. Yang, we're leaving now. We will come to visit you later." He quickly replied, "All right, go ahead." They quickly got into the car and left. Mr. Yang turned back to ask, "How is it? Is the injury serious?" Gao Zong behind him shyly said, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm sure you can see it." Mr. Yang immediately said, "You've used all your strength, and in the end, you still were a match for him." Lin Key willingly admitted defeat. It was clear he wanted to give us some dignity. He slowly said, "The injury isn't a big deal, but I do have quite a few bruises. My punches felt like hitting a rock on him. A normal person couldn't have such physical qualities." Mr. Yang thought to himself, but he is fundamentally not an ordinary person. At this moment, he opened his phone and called someone. "Just now, Lin Key came to my place. I found someone to test him, and the result is that Gao Zong is not his opponent either. Everyone was suppressed by him." The person on the other end responded, somewhat stunned. Could it be that he also knows that kind of ancient magic? No, it is a one-generation transmission. If no one teaches him, he definitely can't learn it. Has Lin Jing quietly returned and then taught those things to him? Mr. Yang quickly replied, "That is not possible. The situation over there, he wouldn't be able to come back even if he wanted to. If he doesn't take the initiative, obviously no one would seek him out. Furthermore, I think he also doesn't realize that he has a son. All right, let's leave it at that for now. If anything comes up, I will call you." At this moment, outside the villa, an angry voice rang out. "What?" Related to Lin Jing. The bearded man said angrily, "It's not Lin Jing, but his son, right? Even Gao Zong lost to him." At this moment, Lu Benchen slowly said, "After all, he is Lin Jing's son. It's not surprising that he would do something like this." Right at this moment, the phone rang. On the other end, the person quickly introduced themselves. "Hello, handsome mask. I am the head of marketing at Five Shrimp, Lai Lin. Let's arrange a lunch meeting. I want to discuss the contract with you." Lin Key replied, "Sure, I have a bit of work to attend to right now. I will find you once I'm done." The door was quickly opened, and King Xianzhao inside respectfully called out, "Boss Lin." Lin Key immediately asked, He Yuan isn't here? Kang Xianzhao answered, He Yuan went to sign a contract. She found a noodle production factory, and with a little renovation of the production line, it can meet our requirements. Lin Key continued to inquire, How much will it cost? Kang Xianzhao promptly replied, $8 million. Upon hearing this, Lin Key seemed a little surprised. Huh? Does it really cost that much to buy a small factory? Lin Key quickly added, A person like He Yuan, who's very frugal, wouldn't spend money wastefully unless there was a reason right. Kang Xianzhao promptly responded, Yuan said the owner's son is handsome, so she didn't want to haggle over the price anymore. Upon hearing this, Lin Key immediately spat out water and seriously opened a stack of documents to review. Kang Xianzhao continued reporting, The plan for Long Sin's IPO has reached a later stage. It will take at least a week or at most half a month to have a draft ready. Lin Key remained silent, not saying anything. At this moment, someone walked in. Tian quickly spoke up. Boss, you're here. Boss Lin, this is the contract we just signed. Would you like to take a look? Lin Key asked. Which company is this investment in? Tian quickly replied. This is the future of the company in the entertainment sector. It's also easier to grasp public opinion. Lin Key suddenly stood up, and before leaving, he did not forget to say, I won't read the content anymore. You all handle it. Tian respectfully replied, Yes. At this moment, in another building, Lai Lin sighed. People from Lang Yun Corporation are really easy to talk to. With the current scale of Lang Yun Corporation, 6.78 billion is just a small amount. Guo Expo quickly spoke up. The investment is done. Now it's just a matter of signing the contract. If everything goes smoothly, we can head home tonight. Mr. Shen truly values him. The contract fee is as high as $5 million. From my perspective, he always wears a mask and glasses. Looking like that must mean his looks are impressive. At this moment, the doorbell rang and Lin Key walked in looking around. Lai Lin waved happily and called out, We're over here. Guo Expo thought to himself, having met already and still dressing like that, just trying to appear mysterious to attract attention. Lai Lin quickly spoke up, Handsome mask, please take a seat. She cheerfully continued, Handsome mask, can you take off the glasses and mask? Let's face each other and talk. Lin Key responded without hesitation. Still should not. Lai Lin, somewhat disappointed, said, All right, if you don't want to show your face, we won't push it. Lai Lin swiftly took out the contract. This is the contract we prepared. Please take a look. Lin Key was a bit taken aback after reading it. Over 100 hours of live streaming every month, I became a streamer for fun. But if you make me sit in front of the camera every day, then that's not going to work. Lai Lin quickly replied, But the contract fee is $5 million. Don't you want to think seriously about it? Lin Key took out his watch and said, Do I look like I'm short on pocket change? Hu Expo angrily yelled, If you're not sure on money, then why are you streaming? We've already invested. We shouldn't waste any more time on him. Lin Key immediately asked back, Invested. He coldly said, Don't even think about investing anymore. It won't succeed. At that moment, a notification popped up on Lin Key's phone. He said, Cancel the investment in that company. The other person immediately replied, Yes, boss. Guo Expo responded firmly, What do you know? We have already discussed everything in the contract. Who do you think you are? A corporation like Lang Yun Corporation. Do you think they would easily change? At this moment, Lai Lin spoke up. Don't argue anymore. CEO Tian is on the phone. Upon hearing this, Guo Expo immediately urged, Answer it quickly. Lai Lin answered the phone in a gentle and pleasant voice. Hello, CEO Tian. Though it was unclear what was said on the other end, her expression suddenly showed fear. Why is that? Did we agree clearly? Guo Expo quickly asked in confusion, What happened? Lai Lin hesitated a bit. CDO Tian just called me and said she was preparing to withdraw the investment and no longer wants to invest. Guo Expo was taken aback by this news. How could this happen? Wasn't the negotiation going smoothly? Did she give a reason? Lin Key lightly tapped the table and quickly continued, If you resign now or get out of my sight, there might still be a chance to salvage this project. Both Lai Lin and Guo Expo were left somewhat stunned. Guo Expo angrily clenched his fists. Who do you think you are? The boss of Lang Yun Corporation? Fine, if you can do that, I will resign. Lin Key said nothing, just dialed a number and handed the phone to Lai Lin. Listen. She hesitated a little before asking, What's going on? Lin Key coldly replied, Shouldn't you fulfill your promise? Guo Expo, confused, said, What? This. But the project has already been completed. Do you think I will obey? Lin Key quickly stood up and said tiredly, I'm done talking to you guys. Goodbye. Lin suddenly called him back. Mr. Lin, wait. About the contract signing, please think it over. When you go back, I will revise the contract. The live time won't be limited, but if that's the case, the contract fee might be reduced. Lin Key immediately agreed. Okay, the contract fee doesn't matter. Lin happily shook hands. All right, let's decide on that. In a few days, there will be an agricultural relief event, and the important department of the app will also participate. I want to suggest that you go. Do you have time? He quickly replied, sure, I have time. Before getting into the car, he didn't forget to say, contact me when you finish preparing the contract. The car quickly sped away. Lin was a bit surprised and thought, he actually has money. At that moment, Gu Expo glanced at Lin and asked, what are you two talking about? Lin replied, I'm preparing to sign a short-term contract with him. No time limit. Expo frowned and said, why should I follow him? Just casually find another streamer who is even better than him. With his gaze directed forward, Lin thought, you should consider whether you can stay or not. The sky was blue mixed with white clouds. At this moment, a car stopped. Suddenly, the phone rang. Lin Key held the phone near his ear and smiled lightly, saying, Beauty Line, what's the matter? The voice in the headset responded, the Medical Research Institute will be officially operating tomorrow. Please take some time to come. All right. The car began to move. The next morning at the hospital, Ru Yu spoke up. Not a bad performance. Here you go. Ru Yu smiled brightly and handed Lin Key a file. Lin Key took it and asked, what is this? The Chief Secretary of the Medical Association. Inside the file are your ID photos along with a lot of written content. At this moment, Ru Yu added, you have done a lot for Voxia. There's nothing much to thank you for, so I made this for you. Now your career is all online and tech-related. Do you have any plans beyond that? Lin Key responded, do you want me to enter the medical field? Ru Yu answered, you have the capability. You could develop further in another field later. Lin Key continued, I still want a bit of freedom. Let's keep it like this for now. Ru Yu replied, okay, as you wish. At this point, Ru Yu waved and said, you can go up by yourself. Zhao Wen will pick you up. I still have things to do. Lin Key responded with a yes. The elevator had reached the 6th floor. Currently, Lin Key was looking at everything in front of him, wondering why they were here. In front of Lin Key, there were many people. Cao Xin was smiling brightly, and like Su Han, was also looking at everything around her. The reporters were also smiling along with a cameraman standing behind them. At that moment, Miller spoke into the microphone regarding the situation in the laboratory. We have introduced everything to you. You can discuss freely. Currently, there were 2 male doctors talking to Su Han. One approached and spoke, beautiful lady, can I add you on WeChat? The question made everyone take a glance. Su Han replied, I don't have it. Su Han was surprised, looking at everything around her. At this moment, Lin Key held up a QR code in front of Su Han. Cao Xin looked at the two and thought, Lin, we finally meet. Su Han took her phone and said, are you free tonight? Let's go for a meal. Lin Key smiled and replied, sure, sounds good. The 3 young men from earlier were silently angry, thinking, where did this guy come from? One person in the group spoke up, Director Lai, may I add your WeChat? Su Han turned back and replied, I've been really busy lately. I don't have time. Someone approached and asked, Su Han, are you leaving? Fu Cao Yang continued, who is this? Su Han replied, oh, he is Lin Key, my former colleague. Cao Yang continued, weren't we discussing the issue of the body rejecting after heart transplantation earlier? Su Han replied, no need. I will ask Lin Key later. He will answer my questions about this issue. Cao Yang glanced at Lin Key and said, Mr. Lin, where did you get your graduate studies? I am the chairman of the Cardiovascular Association. Phew, Cao Yang, a classmate of Su Han. Lin Key spoke up while reaching out to wrap his arm around Su Han's waist. I've quit being a streamer. The 3 young men were taken aback, thinking, streamer? At this moment, Xiao Yang spoke up. Su Han, is he a streamer? Discussing such sophisticated issues with him, he probably won't understand. Su Han replied, Lin Key is an excellent surgeon. His abilities surpass mine. Discussing these issues is not difficult at all. Earlier, I discussed this issue with Mr. Miller, a highly challenging problem. I really think you don't need to discuss it with him. At this point, Lin Key pointed out, do you think I'm on the same level as him? Mr. Miller is a world-class figure. Do you want to be kicked out? Suddenly, Miller coughed a few times and spoke in front of everyone. This is Mr. Lin Key. He is the head of our research department. In the field of medicine, he has groundbreaking inventions beyond what anyone can imagine. My abilities really cannot compare to Mr. Lin. This research center was established thanks to Mr. Lin, so its capabilities are indisputable. Xiao Yang was surprised and spoke up. Mr. Miller, what are you saying? His medical skills surpass yours. Tek Shuhan and Chao Xin were equally surprised. Xiao Yan thought, this guy is so talented. Why is he becoming a streamer? Lin Key kept his hand on Shuhan's waist and spoke up. Your classmate is a bit mentally unstable. Let's go. Don't pay attention to him. Suddenly, a voice came from behind. Miller rushed over and said, Mr. Lin, are you just going to leave like that? Hearing this, Lin Key glanced back, took out a piece of paper, and handed it to Miller, saying, Are you all studying the coagulation medicine? This is the formula I modified. You can use this as a basis for your next research. Miller said happily, Mr. Lin, don't worry. I will definitely work hard and will not let you down. I'll go study this right away. After saying that, Miller jumped up happily and left. At this moment, Vakan approached and said, I have a personal matter I would like to discuss with Mr. Lin. Can you give me a moment? Lin Key remained silent, then handed the key to Xu Han. My office is on the top floor. Go wait for me there. I have something to deal with. Xu Han took the key and replied, okay. As footsteps faded away, Vakan spoke, Mr. Lin, you probably don't know my background. I am of mixed heritage, and the Vase financial group belongs to my family. Lin Key asked, so what? What do you want to say? Vakan replied, here's the thing, our family recently wants to establish a world-class laboratory. I wonder if you would be interested in participating. Lin Key smiled and replied, are you trying to bribe me? Vakan grinned wickedly. Mr. Lin, we can offer you money and power. As long as you agree, I assure you that you'll achieve what you desire. Our corporation has the capability to do that. Lin Key responded, what does your corporation matter? Do you think I would pay attention to it? Goodbye. Lin Key turned to leave and Vakan called out, wait. Grabbing Lin Key's sleeve, Vakan said, if you want to join us, besides money, we can offer you certain benefits. You'll reach a different level in life. Lin Key glanced back and said, get away. I'm not interested. Vakan watched Lin Key walk away, clenching his fists in anger. In the office, Xu Han was sitting and reading. She looked out the door and said, is it all sorted out? Lin Key smiled and replied, the conditions in this office aren't bad. At that moment, Xu Han flew over to hug Lin Key and unexpectedly kissed him, catching him slightly off guard. Lin Key remembered to lock the door. Xu Han said, Lin Ke, I miss you so much. It's been so many days without seeing each other. Do you miss me? The two had taken off their clothes. Lin Key replied, of course I missed you. Lin Key leaned over Xu Han and said, let me see how much the beauty misses me. Two people continued to exchange passionate kisses. In the room, soft sounds can be heard. It's unclear what they are doing. In the middle of the battle, Zhang Xiao Yu calls. Lin Key asks, what's going on? On the phone, a voice responds, Boss Lin, tomorrow we are going to live stream the Yacht exhibition. What time is the flight? Lin Key replies, let's set off a bit earlier. The voice on the phone says, no rush, a private plane can go anytime. The sky is blue with a few white clouds and a plane is taking off. Zhang Xiao Yu smiles brightly and waves. Lin Key wears a mask and a hat. The male flight attendant smiles and says, Mr. Lin, please come this way. Xiao Yu and Lin Key turn their heads and see Yang Ji and Long Shui talking with a camera. This airport probably uses 5-star service, honey. Guess what we're here for this time. The central area is located on the 2nd floor. They guessed correctly. They are going to a beautiful sea area. At this moment, Lin Key speaks up. What are you staring at? Do you think they are good looking? Xiao Yu replies, that male streamer is Long Shui and the girl next to him is Yi Ji from the streaming industry, Bai Bang Yu. Let's hurry up. Seeing them is annoying already. After saying this, Xiao Yu pushes Lin Key along. Currently, Long Shui is live streaming, saying, we had originally booked a private flight, but unexpectedly faced issues on the way. Today, we can only wait. He continues, after this live stream, I'm planning to hold a big event to surprise the fans. Many people were sending hearts and commenting. Suddenly, EG pointed in one direction and said, look over there. At this moment, Xiao Yu and Lin Key were entering the VIP area. Long Shui watched them with a smirk and spoke up. Handsome Mask, your flight is this way, right? You're going the wrong way. Are you trying to avoid me? We're both part of the same app. If I have a piece of meat, you have a bowl of soup. When I don't want to live stream anymore, I'll give you my time. Otherwise, over there you won't get many views. Lin Key replied, even though we are live streaming in the same place, who said we would sit on the same plane? Long Shui continued, right now there's only one flight left to a Luan Island. Lin Key simply said one word, fool. Then Xiao Yu and Lin Key continued walking. Long Shui was surprised. A private jet really can take off. IG said, all right, let's not pay attention to him anymore. Let's board the plane. We can't let this go wrong. Long Shui continued, what kind of connections does that kid have to book a private jet? At that moment, Zhang Meng spoke up. Rather long, it's just one flight, don't mind it. Maybe he wants to create the image of a billionaire streamer spending a lot of money just to take a flight like that. Long Shui chuckled and added, this kind of thing won't last long. The audience wants to see the content in the end. How can he compare to me? The plane was gradually descending. Two girls with cheerful faces welcomed them. Kin Han spoke up, Brother Lin, you're here. A person approached Lin Key and asked, Lin, is she your friend? Lin Key replied, yes, she's my friend. The other person asked again, Lin, has your taste changed so quickly? At this moment, Xiao Yu was thinking, this is a private plane and they are currently on their way to a Luan Island. Lin Key continued, she is accompanying me to a Luan Island. Hearing this, the three young men were surprised and exclaimed in unison, live stream? On the way to a Luan Island? Lin Key told his friend, I'm no longer running a restaurant. I've switched to being a streamer. Then he took out his phone and said, everyone follow me. His friends were all taken aback. One person said, Lin, even when I'm drunk, I don't lean against the wall, but I admire you. Since we met, how many jobs have you changed? Kin Han, sitting next to him, suddenly asked Lin Key, right, Lin Key, didn't you say before for us to prepare to launch the app activities? Their side is almost done. When you plan to start, Lin? Hearing Kin Han's words, Lin Key suddenly remembered. Now is fine. Let me quickly transfer the money to you. While they were talking, Zhang Xiao Yu was looking out the airplane window with excitement. She admired the sea view from above. The water was clear and felt cool. Surrounding them was an island filled with greenery, creating a fresh atmosphere. Being able to see such magnificent scenery after a long time made her exclaim, the view outside is so beautiful. At Luan Island Airport, Lin Key's group finally arrived. They got out and followed the crowd, admiring everything around them. Kin Han mentioned that the exhibition would start tomorrow, so he suggested they find something fun to do tonight. The night view on a Luan Island was incredibly beautiful. Lin Key told them to go ahead. He needed to go to Wangjiang Pier to assess the situation and make arrangements. At Phoenix Pier, Lin Key admired the yacht Starfish, which he had just purchased for $25 billion. He felt that it was truly worth it. Xiao Yu ran up to Lin Key and said, Lin, look at this yacht. It's so beautiful. Moreover, it's really big. Lin Key smiled and replied, it's actually mine. A moment later, Lin Key started taking out his phone to live stream. He noticed that the viewer count was only 200,000 and wondered, could it be that everyone has already had dinner and no one is watching the live stream? Xiao Yu, who was live streaming alongside him, heard him and said, Lin, you should know when to be humble. Long Shui started live streaming half an hour ago at the airport. After saying that, she ran over to Lin Key and said, stop talking, let's take everyone for a quick tour. Suddenly, Long Shui also appeared to live stream from there. He smiled and said to the viewers, hello everyone, this is the second largest yacht at the exhibition. Suddenly, Lin Key and Long Shui ran into each other. He turned to Lin Key and asked, what are you doing here? Don't tell me you want to get on the boat? Long Shui provocatively laughed. I can't get on, but you won't be able to either. He arrogantly added, I don't believe you have the ability to get on the Starfish. Lin Key retorted, if you can't get on, how do you know whether I can or not? Long Shui replied, I already asked their leader. The yacht is in a resting state today and no one is allowed on board. Therefore, I believe you can't get on. Lin Key turned to him and said, fool. Long Shui, bewildered by the insult, felt confused. After that, Lin Key led Xiao Yu toward the yacht. The yacht security stopped them. Sir, please leave here. No matter what, I won't let anyone on the boat. Lin Key took off his mask and smiled. It's me. The security guard looked panicked and shouted, Boss Lin. Then Lin Key patted the guard on the shoulder and told him to be quiet. The guard seemed to understand him, so he said nothing more. Lin Key took Xiao Yu onto the yacht. Instantly, Long Shui's comment section exploded. A person named Lu Kong commented, holy shit, what's going on here? He actually got on. Another person suggested, we need to quickly switch rooms to watch the live stream. A loyal fan of Handsome Mask commented, come on, hurry up, go over to Handsome Mask. Nothing interesting happening here. Long Shui was so shocked that his mouth dropped open. Yi Ji and Zhang Meng were also stunned, unable to believe their eyes. Zhang Meng frantically asked Long Shui, what should we do now? Everyone in the live stream room has already left. Long Shui gritted his teeth, thinking it over, and then shouted to the viewers, everyone, I'm preparing 100,000 in welfare money to give away to you all. Moreover, if the room next door gives out red envelopes, no matter how much they give, I will give out double. The Starfish yacht set sail in the sunset. The rays of sunlight shining on the sea made it shimmer mysteriously. Seagulls fluttered gracefully in the sky, creating a beautifully poetic scene. Xiao Yu was on the yacht live streaming for everyone, showing every nook and cranny and the enchanting scenery of the ocean. She said, "Have you all seen? This is the starfish, truly fitting its name." Lin Key, standing beside her, added, "There's a pool for two up here." While they were live streaming, the yacht manager suddenly appeared. Lin Key waved his hand, signaling them. "Let's talk later." He understood what the boy wanted to say, so he stopped and bowed to show his welcome. Seeing that their live stream viewers were about to break the record of 5 million, Xiao Yu turned to Lin Key and asked, "Should we release a round of red envelopes?" He replied, "Yes." As Xiao Yu was getting ready to distribute the red envelopes, she suddenly exclaimed, "Handsome mask. Wait a moment, fans are saying on Long Shui's live stream that whatever amount you give, they'll give double, clearly trying to outdo you." Lin Key was not very surprised and said, "For the first time, I've seen someone wanting to use money to pressure me. Look at how much they are giving away. I absolutely cannot lose." Xiao Yi anxiously told them to give away $50,000 as red envelopes. "What do we do now?" Lin Key felt a bit annoyed. He said, "We will give away more than twice what Long Shui is giving. Let's see who can hold on until the end." She looked at him a bit confused. "Are we really going to give more than twice what they give? What if they give several million? Are we really going to give that much?" Lin Key immediately replied, "Then we buy all the fish shrimp." Xiao Yu admired him for his determination. "Lin, I really like people who are as proud as you." Lin Key tipped his hat in thanks. Then, without hesitation, she distributed the red envelopes. Suddenly, Long Shui wanted to connect with Lin Key. Xiao Yu turned to ask him, and he immediately agreed. Long Shui said from the other side, "Hey bro, are you trying to trap me?" Lin Key asked in confusion, "Doesn't he want to double it?" Then he angrily said, "I am just cooperating with you." Long Shui remained arrogant and looked down on him. "Haha, we are from the same app. Comparing like this is really meaningless. Keep some face for yourself." Lin Key was furious, thinking that he was looking down on him for not having money. He immediately told Xiao Yu, "Quickly give $100,000 to everyone." She immediately obeyed. When Long Shui heard him say to give away $100,000, he panicked, his face turned pale. Xiao Yu smugly told Lin Key, "We've given away $100,000 in red envelopes." The number of viewers quickly skyrocketed, and the comments exploded. Lin Key laughed triumphantly. On Long Shui's side, he was so shocked that he couldn't keep his mouth shut. A few people watching his live stream commented, "Long Shui, give out the red envelopes. Don't you want to double a handsome mask? We're waiting." Someone named Zhu Kunhao commented, "Why so slow? Don't tell me you don't want to give them out." Taiwan Key immediately chimed in. "It's not that he doesn't want to give them out, but where would he get that much money?" Another person commented, "Come on, let's go. Let's stop following him and go check out the handsome masked starfish cruise. That's more interesting than this." After reading these comments, Long Shui became flustered. He promised to give out red envelopes to everyone and begged them not to leave. Yi Ji anxiously shouted, "The number of viewers has dropped by half. Think of something quickly. At this rate, we're done for." His face turned pale as he realized he had fallen into Lin Key's trap. He figured that the guy guessed he couldn't give away $200,000, which was why he started with $100,000. This guy is too cunning. Yi Ji angrily scolded Long Shui. "This is not the time to complain. We need to come up with a solution quickly or you'll be at his mercy in the future." Long Shui remained silent for a long time before hesitantly asking her for 60,000. When Yi Ji heard this, she thought he was crazy. Long Shui gritted his teeth and shouted, "I must give away 200,000 today. I have to crush that punning young man." He turned to Yi Ji and said, "This little money is nothing to me. I'll pay you back when we get back." Seeing him promise like that, Yi Ji transferred the money immediately. After preparing the money, Long Shui arrogantly told his live stream viewers, "I will give away $200,000 in 5 minutes. If you come late, you won't get any." The number of viewers increased rapidly. Yi Ji was extremely pleased to see the surge in viewership. Long Shui instructed her to immediately connect the mic with Lin Key. Once connected, he confidently said, $200,000, I will distribute it right away. You should prepare 400,000. He would give it to the viewers soon. Xiao Yu felt utterly confused by his words. Lin Key, seeing his stubbornness, felt helpless. Subsequently, Lin Key unhesitatingly told Xiao Yu to quickly distribute $400,000. She was shocked to see him mention such a large amount without any change in expression, but she knew she had to follow Lin Key's orders. $400,000 was given to the viewers. Long Shui and Yi Ji were left gaping in astonishment. The two felt as if the world was about to collapse. Long Shui began to sweat, looking awkwardly at the phone camera, and quickly apologized to the online community. "I'm really sorry, my boss over here invited me to dinner. Let's end the live stream for today and continue tomorrow." Watching Long Shui's flustered demeanor during the live stream, Yiji worried. This is it. Your title as an outdoor streamer will definitely be taken from you. Long Shui gritted his teeth and replied angrily. I have no way to deal with him now. The two of them and Jiang Meng left the dot. He suggested, you can find the boss. Jiang Xiaoyi happily ran to Lin Key, continuously praising him. Lin, you were amazing just now. You completely crushed them to the point where they couldn't say anything. Just thinking about it feels refreshing. Lin Key took his phone out of the live streaming device. Before leaving, he reminded her, that's it for today. I have some important matters to attend to. You can have a stroll around here and I'll call you once I'm done. Jiang Xiaoyi nodded in agreement. Okay. Lin Key turned to his subordinates and said, let's go. This is not a place for conversation. They all lowered their heads respectfully and followed his request. Before long, they were all present in the private room of the yacht. Lin Key held a glass of wine, shaking it gently as he asked, how is everything on this side? Have you encountered any tough issues? The silver-haired man handed him a stack of documents, then reported, everything is going well. This time, we don't have any specific tasks, just promotion work. Lin Key flipped through the pages to read and requested, in this regard, you're more professional than I am. You have full authority to arrange everything. I won't ask too many questions. The silver-haired man replied, thank you, Boss Lin, for your trust. We will definitely not disappoint you. Boss Lin, do you know anyone from the Vase Financial Group? Lin Key rested his hand on his chin and thought for a moment before responding. The Vase Financial Group, I'm not familiar with. The silver-haired man recounted. At first, our exhibition location wasn't very good, but the people from the Vase Financial Group offered us this spot worth over $100,000 for free, saying they value our company and hope to cooperate in the future. Lin Key took a sip of his drink and replied calmly, then you should look into finding an opportunity to reciprocate. Giving something worth around $300,000 would be sufficient. He instructed the silver-haired man, if they contact you, please remember to call me. Once the conversation ended, Lin Key quietly stepped off the yacht. Suddenly, a girl called out loudly, Boss Lin. He was startled and turned to look from afar. Xiao Yan waved cheerfully and said, I saw you live streaming on the yacht earlier and wanted to come say hello. Lin Key smiled and waved back. He wondered, someone as busy as MC Xiao Yan has time to come to a place like this? Xiao Yan approached Lin Key and replied, I used to misunderstand making Boss Lin laugh at my ignorance. I have something I'd like to ask for your help. He curiously asked, what is it? Xiao Yan cheerfully responded, our television station plans to organize a survival event in the wilderness. We will invite natural explorers from around the world to participate. I want to ask if Mr. Lin can participate in the filming next month. Lin Key awkwardly scratched his neck and asked her back, survival in the wild. Are you sure you have the right person? Even though I am a streamer in real life, wild survival doesn't seem to be related to me at all. Xiao Yan was still trying hard to persuade. That day I saw your skills. I felt you have something very suitable to participate in this event. By then, there will be many masters involved and Mr. Lin may find some excitement. Moreover, you would also break through your own limits. After a moment of contemplation, Lin Key finally gave his answer. All right, I tentatively agree. If I have time, then I will participate. Xiao Yan replied with satisfaction. Then I will temporarily put your name down. I'll take you for a stroll around the dock. Wait a bit, there will be a welcome party at the bar ahead. Then the two of them strolled along the dock, chatting lively as they walked. That evening, Yiji and Long Shui were present in front of the Queen Bar. This was a very luxurious bar, decorated outside in a classic style. Yiji stepped out of the car and said, this time it's a bit too much. Long Shui chuckled in response. Although the exhibition starts tomorrow, the frenzy has begun tonight. I've even arranged for a few models to join us. After that, the two linked arms affectionately and walked into the bar. A staff member at the door bowed as they entered. Yi Ji slowly opened the bar door with her hand. As soon as she stepped inside, the loud music made Yi Ji uncomfortable. She covered one ear with her hand. Then they both headed to the room they had reserved with some friends. Upon seeing them, Han Chang, the streamer, stepped out to greet them. You're all here. As soon as he arrived, Long Shui showed a docile expression thanks to the help of the man in front of him. Boss, something happened during the live stream earlier. I was confronted by a masked streamer. This time, I fear I'll have to ask for your help. The man remained relaxed, lighting a cigarette. The man smoking was Wang Zaikan, the owner of Glacier Media. He replied angrily, it's him again. Previously, he competed with a newbie streamer and the top spot, which should have belonged to Meng Jin Yang, was taken by him. I can't believe he's here to disrupt your business now. He Ji, sitting on the side, suddenly voiced his speculation. This person has a lot of loyal fans, and moreover, They are rich ladies. He must be making quite a bit of money off of them. Long Shui added, also, I've heard he has a contract with an app. There might be some expensive contracts behind the scenes. This time, it probably isn't his own money. He anxiously asked, Boss, what should we do now? If we don't quickly suppress this matter, Long Shui's streeting career may be ruined. Wang Zaikan draped an arm over Han Chang's shoulder, cigarette in mouth, calmly making a request. Set up a meeting with him to talk. Let's see which gang he belongs to. Once we know who his boss is, this matter will be easy to resolve. Long Shui immediately took out his phone and sent a message. You need to come to Queen Bar. I have something to discuss. As soon as Lin Key received the message, he quickly arrived at the bar entrance. Lin Key and Zhang Xiao Yi got out of the car and looked around the bar for a moment. Zhang Xiao Yi linked arms with him, and they walked inside together. The staff at the door bowed and greeted them. Inside the bar, there were girls with hot bodies wearing short dresses. They were dancing with the guys energetically. Seeing those people, Zhang Xiao Yi showed a look of discomfort. These people are too indulgent. Lin Key patted Zhang Xiao Yi's head and gently explained, This is nothing. This is just one side of the world. Seeing through this world and then looking at it optimistically is what it means to be courageous. Then they went up to the upper floor of the bar together. Shortly after, they arrived at VIP room V303. Lin Key respectfully kicked the door open and walked in. At that moment, the people inside who were raising their glasses were startled by him. Lin Key slowly walked over and loudly asked, Well, tell me, what do you want? Long Shui hurriedly put down his glass and replied, I have something to talk to you about. Let's sit down and talk. He gestured towards Wang Zaikan, who was smoking, and introduced. This is the owner of our media company. He wants to make a deal with you. Lin Key still deliberately refused to understand what he was saying. He poked his finger in his ear and replied, So what next? Go on, I'm listening. Wang Zaikan pointed at Lin Key and loudly demanded, I want to make a higher offer for the forces behind you. You come to my company. Lin Key turned his head to leave, showing his contempt as he called back. But it's unnecessary to cooperate with idiots like you. This provoked Wang Zaikan's furious wrath. He stood up and slammed his cigarette down on the table, then threatened, You're so arrogant. I advise you not to refuse an invitation to drink. Zhang Xiao Yi turned around, looking scared as she asked, Lin, what should we do now? Lin Key calmly replied, What else can we do? I can't grow wings, so I'll just leave. Han Chang turned to advise Wang Zaikan, Brother Wang, if soft doesn't work, then use hard tactics. He responded, You go arrange it. Han Chang went outside the room and made a phone call to someone. You were right, it's indeed the couple. Wang Zaikan happily stood up, telling Yi Ji and Long Shui, Let's go, they may already be downstairs. Let's go see the excitement. From outside looking into the bar, the atmosphere was filled with bright lights. A man stepped forward to block the way, and Lin Key said, Hey bro, since you're here, let's be friends, don't rush off. The man named Liu Kai, who ran Glacier Media, pulled out a bottle of wine and sweet-talked Lin Key. Come sit down and have a drink. Lin Key smiled faintly and calmly replied, You guys are quite hospitable. Liu Kai shook the bottle of alcohol in his hand and said with amusement, Now that you're here, if you don't drink, it would be impolite. Wang Zaikan looked down from above with a smug expression. I thought he could hold out a little longer. Faced with Liu Kai and the others, one slap and he became obedient. Long Shui, standing next to him with his arms crossed, happily praised the boss. You're too good-natured. Remember how he was just now in the private room, acting all high and mighty, not paying anyone any mind? But look at him now. When Liu Kai told him to drink, he didn't dare to do anything. The whole bar chanted, Drink, drink, drink. Liu Kai pointed at the bottle of alcohol, urging continuously, The alcohol is already here. Drink before you leave. Lin Key wondered, There's only alcohol, no glasses. Zhang Xiao Yi hurriedly interrupted. If he drinks a whole bottle by himself, it could be deadly. Liu Kai smiled and replied, You're right, it's a bit unfair to let him drink alone. He'll drink one bottle, we'll drink one bottle. It's only fair. Lin Key said nothing and immediately took the bottle of alcohol from Liu Kai's hand. To his surprise, Lin Key expertly popped the cap off the bottle with his finger. The aroma from the bottle made Zhang Xiao Yi cover her nose. She thought to herself, It smells too strong. But Lin Key remarked that the taste was acceptable and reluctantly accepted. He picked up the bottle of wine and took a decisive swig. After finishing the bottle, Lin Key spoke up. That's enough. The thugs were visibly angered by this. Lin Key turns the bottle upside down to show that he had finished it and reminded them. The wine is gone. Don't you want to share a bottle with me? At this suggestion, Liu Kai smiled awkwardly and replied, Bro, You drink really well. Don't worry about the small details. You're the guest from afar. Whether we drink or not doesn't matter, as long as you're happy." Suddenly, Lin Key's expression darkened and he frowned, asking, "Do you mean you don't want to drink?" Liu Kai quickly changed his attitude, crossing his arms, laughing loudly, and mocking. "That's right, my brother, you're too trusting. Can't you tell we want to mess with you? You actually think I would drink with you. Do you really think you're worth it?" This statement crossed the line for Lin Key. He asked, "Is this you not knowing the rules of politeness? Do you want to bully me?" The blonde, in a tipsy state, taunted and provoked. "That's right, I do want to bully you. Don't you think you can handle your drink? Today I'm going to make you drink enough." As soon as he finished speaking, he got hit on the head with a bottle of wine. Blood flowed from the wound as he collapsed to the floor, clutching his head in panic and horror, his eyes wide as he looked at the man holding the remaining half of the broken bottle. Wang Zai Kan and those around him were surprised by the brutality of that man, but they could only murmur to themselves, "This guy is really cruel," fearing that if they spoke out, the other half of the bottle would be meant for their own heads. The woman saw the bar being disrupted by some anonymous person and became furious, yelling, "You little brat! How dare you hit someone here? Don't you know whose territory this is?" Lin Key was angry because someone was yelling at him, pointed the sharp, broken glass bottle still stained with a bit of Liu Kai's blood directly at the woman's face and threatened, "Get the hell away from me, or the next one lying down will be you." He immediately snatched the new bottle of alcohol from the staff and forced Liu Kai, who was still in pain and dazed from the recent blow, to drink it. His face was filled with murderous intent as he threatened, "If you don't drink, I'll break one of your arms." Liu Kai was getting more and more frightened, urgently grabbing the bottle and gulping it down so hard that he choked and vomited it all out, the bottle shattering into pieces. After venting his anger, Lin Key left this unstable bar with Zhang Xiao Yi. Before leaving, he couldn't forget to raise his pinky finger towards Wang Zai Kan and his gang, leaving them confused and scared. Lin Key was supported by Xiao Yu to the car, and they were chatting. "Brother Lin, are you going to be okay after drinking so much?" Lin Key rubbed his bloated stomach, but wanted to flirt. "Just a little upset stomach, but I drank plenty of water." She was quite surprised and praised him. "Oh, Brother Lin is awesome. You treat that alcohol like it's water." Even though he appeared coherent, she unexpectedly threw him into the passenger seat. Xiao Yu wanted to repay Lin Key for protecting her, so she politely said, "Lin, you've worked hard. You've had a lot to drink. Let me take you home." A bright smile was on her face. The luxury car sped along the highway alone on the road. Lin Key took the opportunity to get some sleep in the car. His main goal was to meet his system girl. "Congratulations, you have unlocked a new job. You can choose whether or not to experience the farmer job. Please accept the job rewards of $10 million and a piece of golden land." Lin Key felt somewhat dissatisfied when he heard about his new job, opening his arms to embrace the figure of the beautiful girl, wanting to ask the system, "Can't you give me a great job?" The system continued to smile and explain, "Jobs are not divided into rich or poor. After the master completes the streamer job, more rewards will be unlocked." Hearing this, he felt dejected and couldn't say anything. "You are the system. Everything you say is right. If you could find an uninhabited piece of land and live a peaceful life, it would be quite tranquil." The next morning, on a sunny day with a clear blue sky, it was very suitable to go outside. At a Luan Island airport, Xiao Yu suddenly shouted, "Lin, over there." She pointed towards a woman. The girl looked both alluring and elegant, exuding the aura of a star. The people in the group quickly recognized her, seemingly having some impression. The woman's name was Zhao Wenyan, and she had recently starred in a hit movie. Xiao Yu is a resourceful girl. She quickly took out her phone to live stream and gain some fame from the celebrity. That's right. That's her. She is super hot right now. I have to go live to get more content." With a bit of beauty and a certain number of fans, she had quite a few viewers as soon as she started the live stream. She quickly introduced herself to avoid wasting more time. "Everyone, don't rush. Today in our live session, besides Handsome Mask and me, we have a special guest. Today, he will take us to interview big star Zhao Wenyan." Her staff, Gaozong Yuan, also quickly greeted and asked for permission. "Hello, Ms. Zhao. Our colleague would like to interview you right now. Do you have a moment for us?" The famous star, disturbed by the interruption, visibly displeased, bluntly refused. "Sorry, if you want to interview me, please contact my representative to schedule an appointment." Zong Yuan started to feel uncomfortable with the arrogant attitude of this celebrity. "I am Gao Zong Yuan from film media. I just want a simple interview. Can't you spare a little face?" Zhao Wenyan, used to dealing with such annoyances, responded sharply, "Why should I spare you face? I only accept interviews from the media. I hope you won't bother me anymore." The celebrity's words made the whole crew awkward, looking at each other in confusion, not expecting to be so bluntly rejected. They quickly had to change the topic on the live stream to avoid trending for disturbing a celebrity. Everyone, I'm so sorry. We have a little situation today. The celebrity interview segment has to end early. We will take you to meet other stars when we have the chance. Then they left, ignoring the actress. As I was walking along, I accidentally encountered a middle-aged woman waving to me. Ah, is this Zhang Yuan? Zhang Yuan was suspicious of this woman's identity, so he asked, "May I ask who you are?" The woman cheerfully introduced herself. "I am Aunt Wan. I once had a meal with your father during a project abroad. If your father hadn't placed a $3 billion order, my company might not have made it. This year has been so unfortunate, and now that I've met your father, I want to invite him to a meal to express my gratitude." Still maintaining her cheerful demeanor, she raised her hand and called out loudly, "Wen Yan, come here, I want to introduce you to a few friends." At this moment, Wen Yan was taken aback. This star hadn't expected the world to be so small, while the male lead's team felt pleased that they had embarrassed this famous star. Aunt Wang stood in front of Zhao Wenyan, happily introducing her to Lin Key and the others. "This is the rising star. Recently, I invested in a movie she's in. I will give you guys some tickets to come and cheer her on. Hello, everyone." Zhao Wenyan awkwardly waved and smiled, saying, "I was so arrogant just now, and now I feel so unfamiliar with this." Gao Zhang Yuan, Lin Key's friend, was unhappy and frowned as he spoke for the group. Zhao Wenyan's face had turned panicked when Aunt Wang still didn't understand what was going on. Once everything was settled, Gao Zhang Yuan gently turned around, waved, and said to the two people, surprising them, "Goodbye, Aunt Wang. This buddy of mine wants to buy a plane. I'm leaving now." Zhao Wenyan watched the backs of the four leaving, her face pale as she thought to herself, what kind of streamers are they that can buy a plane? But before her question could find an answer, Aunt Wang solemnly took out her glasses and coldly said to Zhao Wenyan, "Wenyan, you should go back to the hotel," leaving her confused. Then Aunt Wang added, "Tell your agent that I won't be investing in the next project. Go find someone else." As Aunt Wang spoke, she put on her glasses, then calmly walked away, leaving Zhao Wenyan flustered and calling out in vain, "Boss Lady Wang." Elsewhere in an exhibition area, Lin Key was walking when suddenly he heard a woman's voice calling out, "Mr. Lin." Lin Key quickly turned around and soon recognized Xiao Yan in front of him, saying, "Ms. Xiao Yan, what a coincidence to meet here." Lin Key happily chatted. Xiao Yan smiled and replied, "My boyfriend is the CEO overseeing the business aviation sector. He's also the person in charge, so I came here." Upon hearing that, Lin Key seemed to remember something and quickly said, "What a coincidence, I'm looking to buy a plane. We all know each other. Let's buy through you. Where is your boyfriend based?" Xiao Yan was startled and asked, "Buy an airplane? You talk as if it's buying vegetables." Lin Key generously waved his hand and said, "When walking with Xiao Yan, I was just bored, had nothing to do, wanted to buy one to play with." This left her helplessly replying, "Huh? Let's go with this then." At another business jet exhibition, a group of people stood in front of an aircraft. One of them asked Lin Key, "We have a total of 2 types of airplanes this time. Which one do you want to see first?" "Let's go with this one. It's quite large." At this point, Lin Key had put on a mask and a hat and quickly made his decision. Zhang Xiao Yu, standing behind, held a stick and smiled lightly, seemingly having understood the other person too well. I knew Lin would choose this one because I like big things. From start to finish, she remained unchanged, covering her mouth and laughing slyly. Lin Key interjected, "Don't talk nonsense." Inside the aircraft, the 4 people had now stepped inside. "How does everyone feel?" Lin Key asked. Cao Zhang Yuan cheerfully replied, "It's okay, a bit better than Kin Han's." Lin Key then sat down heavily on the comfortable seat. "How much is this toy?" Lin Key asked Xiao Yan. "It seems to be $50 million, Xiao Yan replied casually. "That's not bad, cheaper than buying a yacht." Lin Key looked out the window and said softly. Immediately after, Lin Key stood up from the comfortable chair and quickly asked Xiao Yan, "What procedures are needed to buy this?" Xiao Yan was taken aback and asked back, "Are we going to see something else?" Xiao Yan hesitated for a moment. That. She pondered, "Don't buy it just because you respect me. It's still not a small amount of money, so be a bit cautious." Xiao Yan sincerely reminded her. In response, Lin Key remained completely confident. "It's okay. She's one of us. I trust her." After saying that, he left Xiao Yan stunned. The group gradually stepped off the aircraft when another person approached Xiao Yan. "You're here," the person called out, attracting Xiao Yan's attention. The person who came closer was Zheng Qiao, Xiao Yan's boyfriend and the deputy CEO supervising the private jet supermarket. Xiao Yan happily walked over to Zheng Qiao, talking as she moved. "My friend wants to buy a private jet. Can you find someone to introduce beforehand?" At this time, Cheng Qiao glanced at Lin Key's outfit and frowned, internally judging, wearing something like this and saying she wants to buy a jet. Who believes that? Once Cheng Qiao finished, he took hold of Xiao Yan's wrist. Come here, he said. What do you really want? Do you think I'm free? Cheng Qiao said irritably, how much does this plane cost? Do you know? That woman over there for a little bit of fame. Does she really need to act like this? Cheng Qiao pointed at Zhang Xiaoyu, leaving Xiao Yan stunned. Lin Key has much more money than he imagines. She wouldn't do things like this just for a bit of fame. Xiao Yan patiently replied. Cheng Qiao just frowned, rubbing his head and said, I really don't understand you. Clearly a TV host, why would you be friends with someone like this streamer? Hearing this, Xiao Yan's face turned angry for a moment. Don't be hot and cold with me. If you don't want to introduce, then I'll ask them to leave. It's nothing serious at all. Xiao Yan said to Cheng Qiao, and then she turned away, leaving Cheng Qiao silent. Moments later, when Lin Key and the others had entered the room, Cheng Qiao put on a formal expression and bowed slightly, saying, Sir, please wait a moment. I will find someone to introduce the specific parameters and maintenance fees to you. All right, Lin Key replied coldly. Cheng Qiao then stood next to a woman and quietly said, Xiao Zhang, come here. There are some customers who want to buy an airplane. Go introduce them a little. Zhang Lai, the sales staff, slowly stroked her chin and looked at Cheng Qiao with a doubtful gaze. Zhang, are you sure they're the ones? The person pondered while looking at the group of people happily sitting in the front row. Zhang Qiao, with his hands in his pockets, stood next to Zhang Lai, looking at the three people, and slowly said, It's them. They are the ones my girlfriend brought here saying they might buy. If I don't introduce them and they argue with me, there's nothing I can do. Zhang Lai rubbed her cheek and said in a somewhat bored tone, Your girlfriend's communication skills are really poor. She's not worthy of you at all. Then Zhang Qiao reached out and patted the other person's shoulder. All right, you go over there first. Just do it for the sake of doing it. I don't want to argue with her anymore. Zhang Qiao said softly. Immediately after, Zhang Lai also approached the three people who were chatting happily and said, Hello, everyone. Zhang Lai said politely, I am a sales staff of the airplane supermarket. Now I will introduce some information about the airplane. In response, she only received a bored remark from Zhang Xiaoyu. Sister, could you please talk a bit more? It would be convenient for our live stream. Thank you. Upon hearing this, Zhang Lai frowned slightly and thought to herself, how dare she ask me to talk more? Does she think I'm free? After that, Zhang Lai opened a book full of data and began to lower her eyes to read. This one is the largest and most modern business jet in the world. The length of the aircraft is 33.7 meters with a maximum speed of 0.927 Mach. Next, the maintenance cost each year exceeds $10 million. There's nothing else. On the opposite side, Chang Xiaoyu, sitting beside Lin Key, said in confusion, Isn't this the appearance of a high-end marketing staff? She looks down on ordinary people. Gaozong Yuan, who was with Lin Key and had short dark hair that was not pleasing to the eye, leaned on the table and looked at Zhang Lai, saying, What does this mean? Is the introduction over? Zhang Lai replied indifferently, completely ignoring the person in front of her. Sorry, my job duty is like this. If you are not satisfied with my service, you can call to report. Immediately after that, Zhang Lai also stood up and confidently approached Lin Key, saying, If anyone is dissatisfied, they can go somewhere else to watch. Before Lin Key could respond, Gaozong Yuan spoke back to Zhang Lai. Exactly. Having spent so much money, why should we tolerate this? I'll have the representative from the neighboring company come over to introduce you. Lin Key and his companion then stood up and walked past Zhang Lai. Zhang Lai didn't even seem to care, appearing quite proud, and moved forward to pat Cheng Qiao on the shoulder. I followed your request, and I'm not going to handle the rest. Cheng Qiao quickly responded cheerfully. Thank you. Suddenly, Cheng Qiao's face showed surprise. Xiao Yan, what are you doing? Cheng Qiao called out to Xiao Yan, who was following the two. Xiao Yan, you should at least turn your head and reply to him. I don't want to sit here anymore. Let's go ahead. Cheng Qiao quickly became flustered, his face pale. Is it really necessary to do this? They're just streamers. How could you side with them? What do you think of me? Xiao Yan was not backing down and continued. You are clearly looking down on others, thinking that just because they are streamers, they can't afford a private jet. But let me tell you, among them, you could easily find someone richer than you. You really have no right to look down on them. Zhang Chao continued to speak, surprising Xiao Yan. Just a delusional person, people like them are the parasites of social media. Being with them lowers my dignity. Rather, Xiao Yan said through gritted teeth in anger. Then Xiao Yan pointed and shouted straight at Zhang Qiao. I think it's better to clarify some things now. We didn't get along before. Let's end our relationship here. Zheng Qiao was taken aback and replied, You would break up with me because of them. Can they give you the life of someone from a higher class? This time, before Xiao Yan could respond, Lin Key's friend had already come closer and laughed out loud. Ha 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 ha. Then when the laughter suddenly stopped, his face tightened. With me like this, it's the first time I've heard someone call me a parasite of social media. He then reached out to grab the mouth of an exquisitely patterned vase. Why are you taking our vase? Over $1,000 each. If it breaks, don't say I made you pay for it. Zheng Qiao looked at the other person's actions and quickly warned him. But then he coldly replied, That's fine. Over $1,000 isn't considered expensive. Then he slammed the vase towards Zheng Qiao while loudly saying, I'll smash it to see. When Zheng Qiao was still holding his pale arm, he said, What do you want to do? Do you even know where this is? The only response was Gao Zong Yuan's arrogant face. It doesn't matter where it is, but I'll tell you. Be a little more polite to Lin from now on. After that, Lin Key asked when the other person draped an arm around his shoulders and then reminded him as they were about to leave. Give Ms. Xiao Yan a bit of face. From behind, Zhang Lai finally approached to support Zheng Qiao, who had almost collapsed. Are you okay, Zhang? Your girlfriend is really over the top. Someone else hits you and she doesn't even stop it. She said this just as Xiao Yan was coming to her senses. When she saw Xiao Yan leaving without a word, Zhang Lai then exclaimed, A woman like that shouldn't be tolerated. Zheng Qiao, still looking frightened, said, All right, let's not talk about this anymore. Tell her to clean up the living room. A while later, in another room, Zhang Lai knelt down beside him, cleaning the wound on Zheng Qiao's hand. Unable to hold back, she remarked, I feel like your ex-girlfriend and that masked man have an unusual relationship. Zheng Qiao firmly denied it. No way. I know her personality. She's very conservative and wouldn't do something like that. Suddenly, the corner of Zhang Li's mouth curled up somewhat cunningly. If they don't have a special relationship, then why help that person like that? Is this still unclear? Zhang Lai turned to Zheng Qiao, still holding a cotton swab in her hand, saying, I will handle this. After finishing the bandaging, Zhang Lai added, I feel that it's not just about dealing with it, but we should also let them taste a bit of suffering. We need to find someone to teach them a lesson. You can't let those streamers bully us, otherwise we will lose all our face. After hearing this, Zheng Qiao fell silent for a moment. When stepping outside, Lin Key, who was walking beside Xiao Yan, politely said, I'm sorry. I intended to go to support, but unexpectedly caused the two of you to break up. Xiao Yan replied casually, It's okay. At that moment, Xiao Yan's face also turned a bit pale and tiredly explained, Actually, we had problems early on. If it weren't for today's incident, I probably wouldn't have been able to make up my mind. Kinahan arrived from somewhere, and upon hearing this, raised his arms to embrace his two friends' shoulders, cheerfully saying, What are you doing? It's just a stupid guy. What's there to be sad about? We're taking you to enjoy the night scene by the beach. At a bar inside the place, people were already dancing to loud, thumping music. Xiao Yan sat on one side with a drink in hand, while Gaozong Yuan sat next to Lin Key, pointing towards Xiao Yan on the other side and saying, Lin, in times like this, what women need most is understanding and comfort. I think you should take this opportunity to step up and save the woman who is falling apart. Meanwhile, Sang Xiao Yu, who was now drunk and unaware of her surroundings, happily chimed into the conversation, still holding her wine glass. Ha ha ha! This reason is really fresh. On the table, the glasses of wine were nearly empty. Lin Key, with his hands in his pockets, coldly asked Xiao Yan, Do you want to drink here to forget your troubles? Xiao Yan's face was flushed from the alcohol as he gently replied, I'm not a girl of 17 or 18. Why would I resort to drinking to forget my sorrows? Behind them, Lin Key suddenly made two knocking sounds. An older man walked in and comfortably introduced himself. Mr. Qin, I am the head of the aviation department. Maham Tao. Qin had then approached Lin Key and introduced the man with the last name Ma. This is my brother. Lin Key, he's the one who wants to buy the plane. Hearing this, Maham Tao greeted, Mr. Lin. He then eagerly took out a stack of papers and said, Here are the documents about our aircraft. But in response, he was surprised when Lin Key, while reviewing the stack of papers, asked, Is there stock available? Mr. Lin, on our side, there actually isn't a long wait. Maham Tao maintained a warm attitude, continuously speaking to Lin Key. But domestically, some procedures still need to be completed, so it will take a little time. If you have any questions, I will explain everything to you. No need for introductions anymore. Where's the contract? I want to sign it now, Lin Key said firmly. Mahong Tao immediately became astonished. You want to buy it right now? I didn't expect you to decide like that, so I only brought the documents and not the sales contract. Gao Zhong Yuan smiled brightly and joked. You didn't expect Mr. Lin to have such money, did you? As Ma Hongtao, who was receiving back the stack of documents, panicked, Lin Key smirked. Then Ma Hongtao bowed respectfully and said, I will go back and bring the contract right now. Lin Key replied softly, Thank you. At that moment, Gao Zhong Yuan suddenly turned his head, looking at everyone with a pale face and asked, Lin Qin, do you know anyone here? When looking down, he could only see 3 well-dressed people. At that moment, Zhao Mo stood there. Did he know those people? Lin Key frowned and asked. The one leading is one of the 4 most powerful young masters of Yanjing. Gao Zhong Yuan also said, Dan, why did I have to run into that kid Zhao Mo? He cursed his displeasure. At that time, another person approached Zhao Mo and pointed to the upper floor, attracting Zhao Mo's attention. Zhao Mo then looked up and said, Isn't Qin Han in the private room on the 2nd floor? Let's go up to greet him. As Zhao Mo was heading up, the crowd behind began to discuss. Is there going to be a fight? It won't be that serious, but the world of the rich in Yanjing and Zhonghai meeting up will definitely provide some interesting drama. Qin Han, at that moment, stood facing the newcomers, arrogantly putting his hands in his pockets and starting the conversation. I haven't seen you for 2 days, and I thought you wouldn't dare to come. Zhao Mo quickly replied, This is an annual event. How could we not come? But at this moment, Zhao Mo's gaze turned to Lin Key, who was sitting across the table, food in hand, and bringing it to his mouth. Qin Han, what's up with this friend of yours? Doesn't he know to stand up and talk, bringing a cripple to eat? Zhao Mo asked Qin Han, his eyes still fixated on Lin Key. Seeing this, Qin Han angrily spoke up. He is Lin Key. You've lost over $100 billion to him, and if you can't compete with him, you curse him for being a cripple? That's just losing face. Immediately, Zhao Mo and the others turned pale. The name Lin Key flashed through their minds. At that moment, Sun Si walked over and patted Lin Key hard on the shoulder. Bro, well done. These guys have so much money, and now they even want to eat. Sun Si gritted his teeth in anger. Do they really think they are safe in Zhonghai and won't dare to mess with you? Sun Si continued. Zhang Xiao Yu, who witnessed this, became somewhat panicked and called out, Brother Qin, it seems like they are about to fight. What should we do now? Very soon, Qin Han intervened, stopping them with a loud voice. Sun Si, my brother here is unhappy. You'd better not touch him. Are you threatening me? Sun Si responded angrily. Even though my family background isn't big, I don't care about you at all. Before he could speak freely, Lin Key grabbed the hand that was resting on his shoulder. Lin Key forcefully pulled him down, causing Sun Si's face to hit the table hard. Then he reached for a metal fork, and in anger, Lin Key took hold of Sun Si's head, bringing the fork close to his eye, the atmosphere feeling suffocating. You said no one could get in your eyes? Lin Key threw Sun Si onto the table and used a fork. Sun Si was very scared, but still shouted, If you dare to touch me, my family won't let you go. Lin Key scoffed. With a bunch of idiots like you, when something happens, you only know how to call your family. You're not even worth the trash. Zhao Mo still talked back. Who are you talking about? Lin Key kicked him painfully. You think I'm just joking, you fool. He fell to the ground with a thud. Everyone was in an uproar. Is this for real? Hu Chang'an stepped in and said, Let Sun Si go. Tomorrow there will be a party on the beach. Let's have a match. Lin Key immediately released Sun Si and said, All right, since you said that, I will play with you to the end. He threw the fork down and said, The barking dogs here are too noisy. Let's go. Then the 4 people in Lin Key's group left. At that moment, Zhao Mo asked Hu Chang'an, Brother Gu, why didn't you teach him a lesson earlier? Chang'an replied, There are too few people here. Even if I taught him a lesson, it wouldn't be a big deal. Are you all okay? Sun Si hesitantly said, I feel a bit wary of that person. If he really uses his strength, I'm afraid I won't come out unscathed. Chang'an comforted him. He must have trained. It's normal for you not to be able to beat him. Just endure what happened today. Tomorrow, I'll vent my anger for you. Lin Key's group had already reached outside the door. Gao Zhong Yuan asked Lin Key, Brother Lin, you seem a bit hasty. Gu Chang'an is really not someone to be taken lightly. He's been doing risky activities since he was young, and his physical condition is very good. Qin Han also expressed some concern. Brother Lin, I know your skills are excellent, but be careful this time. Hu Chang'an can fight pretty well. Don't fall into a trap. Lin Key confidently replied, Okay, I have my own plans. Suddenly, his phone rang. The voice on the other end said, Brother Lin, I am the eldest daughter of the Jiroi group. I'll be coming to Aluan Island in 2 days. Can you give me a chance to meet? I'm at the hotel where you're staying in room 1616. He turned off his phone and said to a few friends, I have a little matter. Can you help me take Miss Xiao Yan and Miss Zhang home? Qin Han said, Don't worry. They got out of the car and left. In room 1616 of the hotel, Jiroya and Wakala were waiting for Lin Key. Wakala eagerly said, "Sister, I feel that Lin Key won't agree that easily. I think we should use a strong method, directly tell him. If he doesn't agree, then we take action against his assets. I don't believe he can fight back." Jiroya looked at the clock. "Mr. Lin is about to arrive. You can leave now." "Got it." Wakala immediately stood up and left. Jiroya thought to herself, if he can be easily defeated like that, then at this age, he couldn't have acquired the wealth that others have struggled for decades to achieve. There was a knock at the door. Jiroya bowed. "I am Jiroya. I have heard of Mr. Lin for a long time. It's a pleasure." She poured a cup of tea. "This is tea that I specially brought from my hometown, Mr. Lin. Please give it a try. It is said that Mr. Lin has long seen technology and is researching and developing the chip field. Our financial group also happens to work in this area, so we want to cooperate with Mr. Lin. That's why I specially invited him to discuss a bit." Lin Key was resolute. "Let's get straight to the point. Although the scale of Lang Yun Corporation is considerable, it is nothing compared to my family. Moreover, I am not in charge of the operations of Long Sin, so it's useless for you to come to me." Ms. Eureka continued pouring tea and said, "Then let's get straight to the issue. Our family wants to establish a biological research laboratory. I would like to invite Mr. Lin to cooperate, with each side holding 50% of the shares. What does Mr. Lin think?" Lin Key stated directly, "I have already declined your offer." Jiroya widened her eyes in surprise and then gently placed her hand on Lin Key's hand. "As long as it's not an unreasonable request, we will accommodate Mr. Lin. I hope you will not refuse." Lin Key was confused. "What does this mean?" Jiroya stood up. "If you agree, I believe I can bring you a completely new experience." As she spoke, she took off her outer dress, revealing only her lingerie that accentuated her seductive curves. Lin Key quickly stood up, his tone harsh. "Your face is fine and your body is not bad, but it doesn't attract me that much. My wife is much more beautiful than you." He turned and walked away. Jiroya grabbed his hand and pulled him back. "Does Mr. Lin truly feel nothing at all?" Jiroya took Lin Key's hand, placed it on her chest, and hugged her gently, saying, "I think Lin has fallen for you." Lin Key immediately pulled away and said, "Your lungs are quite big too. You should go to the hospital for a checkup." Lin Key resolutely walked away. Jiroya entered the room, closed the door, and got dressed again. She got a phone call. "Sir, the progress is not going well. The other person does not agree with our request." The voice on the other end replied, "Remember, even if he doesn't agree, it's fine. As long as we can obtain results related to him, that's enough." Jiroya replied, "I understand. Don't worry, sir." Lin Key was on his way back to his room, lost in thought. That woman was willing to pay with her body to attract him. Could this project be that important? Could it affect the fate of the Va family? He opened the door and entered his room. It seemed the Va family still had no intention of giving up. They might come looking for him again in the future. By the elevator, it was a noisy group of people, consisting of Zhang Hui and Zhang Qiao, who appeared to be drunk. Zhang Hui said, "Zhang, where is that guy? Let's go over there, use the excuse of being drunk, and teach him a lesson." Zhang Qiao replied, "I don't know where he is. First, I'll look for my girlfriend, and see if I can find out where he is." Zhang Hui waved his hand. "Your girlfriend really doesn't know how to appreciate it. Having such an excellent boyfriend and still misbehaving. We know he wouldn't like that." Zhang Qiao was furious. "Then why did you let her taste a bit of suffering before leaving her? First, give him a beating." Zhang Hui laughed loudly. "Ha ha, come on, I'll take you to get your revenge." They arrived at the door of the room. Zhang Qiao entered the password and burst through the door, but there was no one inside. Zhang Hui asked, "Ha, where is everyone? Did they leave?" Zhang Qiao's face turned dark with anger. "I booked this room. If they checked out, I would receive a notification. She's not always with that man, is she?" At that moment, Xiao Yan returned, standing outside and shouting, "Who are you? What are you doing in my room?" Zhang Qiao turned and asked, "Where is that man?" Xiao Yan threw her bag down on the chair and replied, "You're talking about Lin Key. What do you want with him?" Zhang Qiao said, "He hit me." "Do you think this can just be overlooked?" Xiao Yan corrected him. "He didn't hit you, right? It was his friend who did." Zhang Qiao was even angrier. "You are really something. You're actually defending that man. I was completely wrong about you." Xiao Yan shook her head in frustration. "Even though we've broken up, we don't need to become enemies. I'm doing this for your own good." Zhang Hui interjected, "Miss Yan isn't revealing Lin Key's room number. We will not leave, nor do we want to disturb you. Just tell us, or you'll face the consequences." Xiao Yan was helpless. These people really have to be beaten before they realize how scary it is.